What's up, G?
Good. What's going on?
Just come check you out, man. We got last night. I'm sorry, Saturday night.
Yeah.
You had Africa.
Yeah.
He fought Kambosos. Ended up stopping Kambosos. Africa guaranteed. He said he was gonna stop Kambosos. We never seen Africa really, bite down and really get somebody out of there. He doesn't have that many knockouts, but to see him do that last night, what's your thoughts? Or Saturday night, what's your thoughts?
I mean, that's what I felt like he needed to do. He needed that. He needed that for himself. He needed that for his career. He needed that for the people of New York City, because New York need a kingpin. You know what I mean? Right now they're struggling with that. So I thought it was perfect that he was the main event at what was that?
Madison Square.
At Madison Square in the theater. Thought that was perfect situation for him. It was on a good card, good promotion, good opponent. Everything that happened should have happened. That's all I ever asked out of the kid. Was like, realize who you are, realize what you can do, and go in there and do it. And he did it. I would like to see that type of performance, or at least him give that type of effort every time out, because he got it. I'm not just saying it off of watching him on TV. I've seen this kid up close and personal. Mm-hmm. He got it, but he got to let it out. You know what I mean? He questioned himself sometimes, and you could see it. You know what I mean? But it was a great fight for him. The way he put it together, broke him down off the jab. The jab was mean. The right hand was accurate. And when he started placing them body shots, Kambosos couldn't take it. He was killing him to the body.
Yeah, I saw. I think for the first, he almost stopped. It was like the fourth round. I think he fourth or fifth round coming with the first body shot.
Yeah.
And then he started. I thought he was going to stop him right there, but
yeah,
Kambosos made it out of that round, and then he ended up stopping him in the eighth round with that body shot.
Yeah.
You think like Lomachenko kind of set the blueprint for Kambosos as far as to stop him going to that body?
Well, really, if you look at the fighters, they two different fighters in style, size, everything. So Lomachenko had to really outsmart Kambosos and outwork him. He countered him a lot, made him miss a lot. When he stopped Kambosos was more mentally beat up. You know what I'm saying? And it was later in the fight. It was 11th round. When Hitchins stopped him, it was off of pure pain. He was hurting. When he hit him with that first body shot, bro, his face changed and the whole fight changed from there. You know what I mean? Hitchins was already in the lead, but you can see at that point now he's ready to do damage. He's doing damage. So that's what I've been trying to say. With his size, you can do that to guys. You know what I mean? You 5'10.5", fighting at 140. You one of the giants at 140. You know what I mean? That's the type of punishment he could be putting on them guys if he believe in himself.
So now, we'll start with Hitchins. He called out Devin Haney. He called out Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
I think Devin Haney said, "I'll fight you at 147." Do you think that's a fight? And what happens if they do fight?
I think that fight is a great fight. And here's why, though, right? I'm gonna get into it. Neither one of them are known as a big puncher. They both known as boxers. They both got good height on them, long arms, things like that. But the mentality of the two, not being thinkers, the mentality of the two being thinkers, that night they'll be fighters. Why? Because it's gonna get to a point both of them gonna feel like I can't outthink him right now. I'm gonna have to pick it up. I'm gonna have to go in my doggy bag. You feel me? So therefore you're gonna get a clash. You're gonna see them rumble. That's gonna be, if they fight, that's gonna be a great fight. I hope they fight, because that's gonna be a great fight, and that's gonna raise both of their stock. You know what I mean?
Would you rather see him versus Teofimo or Hayden?
I want to see both of them beat Teofimo up and then fight each other. You know what I mean? If they could make that happen.
Now, Kambosos come off a loss. I don't think he has had a win in his last 3 fights, I think.
Well, he won his last fight.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. He won his last fight.
Yeah.
Now, but it's like when he go against high echelon competition, he doesn't get the win. Devin Haney, Lomachenko. He did beat Teofimo, but
he did.
Since then he hasn't. He lost to Devin Haney twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lomachenko, then he lost to Richardson. Is his career over, or he still got something left in the tank? What you think?
I mean, if I was Kambosos right now, what I would do is stay away from pure boxers. That's it, you know what I mean? That's the guys he lose to, pure boxers. By pure boxers, I mean guys who come from great backgrounds, skilled backgrounds, fundamental backgrounds, where at the end of the day, when times get tough, they're going to go back to boxing. Stay away from them type of guys. Go in there and fight the guys that's going to give you the fight that you're looking for. And, you know, most likely Kambosos will win because those are the guys he get over on. When you try to fight Kambosos and you give him a rumble, that's when he get over because that's what he like to do. His style is like a rough style, street style. He just want to mix with you. He want to hit you with a big shot. Devin Haney, Africa, all them guys, they're too sharp for him, too smart.
Now, rolling back to Africa, though, like I said, I spoke to Africa, and it seemed like he had like a tough road, like a hard road to get to become a champion. And people like doubted him, and now he's a champion, got the belt, defended it in his hometown. Do you think that he's going to be a champ for a while?
He could be. He disciplined. He got the size. He just got to want to. I think most of his issues are mental issues. Not saying like mental like he going crazy, not that. I'm saying it's in his mind. In his mind, if he believe he can win, if he believe he can perform, he'll go out there and do it. He got to just believe in himself. I don't think it had nothing to do with the people choosing a favorite fighter because his career went the way it went because of who he was dealing with. That's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault because everybody's career is different. Some guys pick up the fame and the money early. Some guys get it late. Bernard didn't start making great money till his 30s. You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. These guys do too much watching. They watch each other, and I want that. Yeah, it ain't for you right now. Now is his time. So what he got to do is put on great performances. He got to believe in himself.
Now, we got some other fights coming up. We got Tev, who's going to be fighting kid Austin.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are overlooking Tev in this fight? You think Tev has a chance?
No, I don't think nobody overlooking Tev. I think more people think Tev will win than Kid Austin because Kid Austin has never been in the ring with anybody like Tevin Farmer. And Tevin Farmer has been champion before, and he know what it take, and he know what it's like to get in there and really have to bite down on that mouthpiece. Now, Kid Austin, up and coming, he's a contender now. Tough, very tough kid, a dog for sure. He's going to have to bring something different to the table that night. Will he do it? Who knows? You know what I mean? But this is not an easy fight for either guy. You know what I mean? It's not easy for Tev because Tev in there with a young man that all he knows is strength. All he knows is his energy. You know what I'm saying? All he knows is what he's been taught, and he coming out there to work. And for Austin, you fighting a man who's skilled, awkward, fast, you know what I'm saying, and can surprise you with his strength. So it's going to be a good fight, if you ask me. Really good fight.
And, Tev, he's been there, he's been there with all, he's been there with all kinds of styles. At one point, Tev was fighting like 3-4 times a year. I think he's with Eddie Hearn at that time. He's fighting a bunch of fights. And he's now to the point, he did lost to Zapetta, but the first fight, everybody thought that he won. And now it's like, in my opinion, just hearing like people speaking something out. I guess De La Hoya not supposed to say that. Supposed to look at Tev as like a stepping stone, and
right?
So forth and so on. But I think they probably they kind of underestimate. I think it might be upset in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you leave it up to the promoters and stuff like that, in the business, they gonna talk like that because Kid Austin is supposed to be the future, one of the guys of the future. So I understand that, but Tev, it'll be an upset in that sense. Yeah, but Tev is nothing to play with, and they'll both find out about each other when they get in there that night.
All right, another fighter. I just was speaking to Coach Calvin about. We got Truck Simpson. He's coming back.
Yeah.
He's fighting. He's fighting Tucker. They fighting in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, Jihad Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah, Tucker. Now, this fight for Truck. I mean, this is like a must-win. For Truck. Everybody's saying. What's your thoughts on Truck? Coming into this fight, it's a 10-round fight, middleweight. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a must-win for both of them. This is a fight they kind of picked with each other. They kind of went at each other, and then let's make it a thing. I think it was great for boxing because, when you need something to pick you up, this is the type of situations we get. I think this is going to be the best Truck Simpson we've seen in his whole career because now he has a reason to work hard. Some guys, I know it sounds crazy being a fighter, some guys, they train, but they don't always train hard. They're not always disciplined. But this is the type of fight that can make you disciplined. This is the type of fight that'll make you train hard. And I think that's why we get the best Truck Simpson. At the same time, Jihad Tucker, it's the same thing for him. He's been in some close calls. He took an L, and he know what it's like to be in a tough fight. This is also a fight that he needs. So, you know, this is a great fight because it's going to boost both of their status as middleweights. You know what I mean? And I love that fight, for real, for real.
All right, so it's another fight. You know, I don't keep too long. You got to go up there and train, but it's a fight I don't think I asked you about, which was Shakur versus Zapetta. That fight is scheduled to happen, next month, 12-round fight.
Yeah.
Zapetta coming off a win over Tev.
Yeah.
Now going into the fight versus Shakur. Is he tailor-made for Shakur? Like his style, Zapetta? I
mean, style-wise, yes. But you never know until you get in there because it's always something a little different. Zapetta, I'm pretty sure, is working on some things that he can bring out that night that'll help him get closer to Shakur and getting some shots off. The problem is that rarely happens with Shakur. Shakur, you may touch him once, but you don't get to hit him with nothing big and crazy. But Shakur, at the same time, we have to talk about it. It's not a thing we can ignore. It's his hands. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully his hands is at 100%, at least 90%, where he can go in there and show his skills too. You know what I mean? This is a great fight because it's the bull and the matador. You know what I mean? The classic matchup. Somebody got to win. I think it's one of those fights where Shakur is going to learn a lot about himself because he's fighting a guy that's really relentless, a guy that's really, he don't care. He going to take a punch. You know what I mean, to get close to you. So, and Shakur know that. So, I think this is just a great fight for both of them. Again, it's one of those fights that's going to boost your status. It'll mean the world to Zapetta, of course, because Shakur is looked at already as a great fighter. But it'll mean the world to Shakur because this guy is nothing to play with. You know what I mean? So, I'm looking forward to that match for sure.
What does Shakur got to do to win this fight, do you think?
Shakur just got to do what he do. Pick his shots. Take his time, not trying to be too extra. Take advantage of the moments where Zapetta is trying to gather himself, regroup, and breathe, jump on him. You know what I mean? He don't have to stop him. It could happen, but he don't have to stop him. Zapetta got to be relentless. He got to be nasty. He got to make it an ugly fight. You know what I mean? He got to almost like try to kill everybody in the building to get the win. You know what I mean? He got to go crazy, so it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, because it's like this fight. I think that the aggressiveness of Zapetta, along with the skill of Shakur, is gonna make for a good fight. It's probably gonna come down to the adjustments that they make. I think that Shakur probably not gonna be able to do the same thing he did against De La Santos, where he was moving around too much.
Yeah,
he gonna have to fight in this fight, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Now Zapetta, what can he do to offset Shakur? What do you think? Do you think he can do anything to offset the skills?
I think he's just gotta use his legs a little more. Meaning, don't just use your legs to go forward. Go side to side. I mean, keep your head off the line. Keep your hands up. And even though Shakur is fast, you gotta try to time that shit and get in between it. You know what I mean? Keep a tight defense. Slide inside with the uppercuts and the hooks. I mean, and just be relentless. You gotta make it an ugly fight. You gotta make it a dirty fight, to be honest. You know what I mean? Not trying to give him any ideas, but we gotta be real. It's a fight. It's nothing nice about a fight. I don't understand how people, when guys talk like that, they like, oh my God, fight dirty. Like, bro, this is a fight. You're gonna get hit somewhere intentionally or unintentionally, you know what I'm saying, that could hurt you. And, why not be the guy doing the hit?
I was in New York, and one of the trainers, they were saying something like Zapetta got to have like the Madonna or Mayweather type effect of that first fight that Madonna did against Floyd.
Yeah.
They were saying that he got to have that type of fight to win, make it ugly.
Yeah, it got to be ugly. It got to, because you're not going to beat him trying to box him. You already know that. You know that going in. You know that going in the training camp. You can't outbox him, so... You know what I mean? Let's be real with ourselves. You know what I mean? Zapetta gonna have to go in there and lose his mind.
I want you to give me some insight, if you could, before we go. We're speaking off camera a little bit about the promoters and the jankiness and the robberies that happen with the promoters as far as the money aspect.
Yeah.
What's your advice to anybody, or what can you say to that as far as what people can do to avoid this, and what would be the remedy to kind of make it easier for fighters and promoters to come together?
I mean, for me, the local promoters today, they don't promote. They got the fighters hustling tickets for them. I'm saying that because a lot of people don't even know some of these fights are happening. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, they used to make sure it was flyers everywhere. They would get in touch with the radio station. They would go as far as billboards. They would go as far as the radio, things like that. Today, guys, they use like little tactics to try to boost their own status as a promoter, but they're not really trying to promote the fighters. What they're trying to do is get them to the bigger promoters to sell them off, or either have them fight on the B side. I mean, the business is the business. I understand that part, but when you start trying to hold back guys' careers and stuff like that, that's the part of it I don't like. You know what I mean? And they get corny. They try to get you tied up in paperwork, things like that. As far as not getting caught up in that, you know what I mean? You just got to be careful about who you deal with in this game. You got to try to, pay attention to their track records, pay attention to what fighters they have worked with, and where did they get them in their career. You know what I mean? And make the right decisions for yourself. That's the best thing. You know what I mean? And if you can put some money to the side to buy yourself some fights or things like that, you know what I mean? You got to do that, because the inactivity will kill you.
Now, a lot of these fighters who don't have that's not notable, well, I won't say notable, but the fighters who don't have the names, that they're like in these inner cities trying to make it out. There's so many boxers all over the United States, all over the world, who are trying to get exposure or get out there, or even just make some money to provide for their families.
Right.
What would be your advice to them? Like, what should they look out for? What I'm saying? What's the most important thing that you think that they should have in mind when going into a promotional deal?
I mean, first thing is staying healthy. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay ready. I can't promote a guy who half-ass fighting. And what I mean by that is, you get in the ring, you get tired after 2-3 rounds. Nobody want to deal with a fighter like that. So you got to do your job first, which is stay ready. Second thing is, again, you got to try to look for the promoter who have your best interest, or the people, the manager, the advisor that have your best interest, and really try to get you the right fights. I mean, and you do have to promote yourself. You do have to do that, but so that you can sell tickets and stuff like that. But you know what I mean, the promoters, I want to see them do more of that too. The promoters just, hey, they give you the tickets. How many can you sell? They give you the tickets, and then they want you to bring the money back. And then you getting a percentage of your money, the money that you sold. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy, but for those guys, man, that's trying to make it out, tough situation, just stay ready, man, because you will get the call that could change your career. And maybe not change your life, but change your career, at least where now you could be seen and been fighting on bigger cards and stuff like that. So the biggest thing is stay ready, man.
So what do you think, last question I got for you, what do you think the promoters are looking for? Like when they come into these inner cities with these gyms, and they trying to find the next fighter, is it important for a fighter to promote themselves or make themselves look like, I want to say look like they're bigger than what they are, but promote themselves whereas they have some notoriety, have some presence online, have presence in the gyms around the city, whereas they have a name. Is that something that you think the promoters are looking for? Yeah,
of course they are. They're looking for the popular young kid. It's like the younger they are, the better. You know what I mean? Because that way you can definitely get them a cheap opponent, and you can not because of the age, but it's because you're trying to move him right. So you're trying to get him a guy that he'll definitely beat. He'll look like a star to his people. You're trying to get the guy that got a following. You know what I mean? You're trying to get the guy that that can punch. Everybody want a puncher. But yeah, that social media thing, that's playing a big part. So that leads to ticket sales. So they're looking for the ticket seller. That's the main thing. They want the ticket sellers.
Yep. So, we heard it first, TBISE. Anything else you want to add, G?
Nah, man, just stay positive, stay sharp. You know what I mean? Stay on your job.
All right, appreciate you, G.
For sure.